Hey, it's Mike from Drive80.com, and today we're going to make this video by Doritos. Good timing. What this effect is, it looks like a text with text to each other. Now, they're not going to do all the design elements that they're doing. I'm just going to show you this effect on how these can pop in and then move up. And from there, you can kind of figure out how to apply that to your own marketing or your client's marketing. The reason I chose this video is because it has about 10,000 views. Now, if you're going to upload this to Instagram, make sure you put a cover photo, which they obviously forgot to do, but they decided to do it here. And you can see, I don't know if that's the effect, but this has 10,000 views and this has 16,000 views. When you put a blank image here and people are scrolling through your account, like no one really, a blank box isn't going to catch your eye. So just remember that. And we're going to do this effect with After Effects. So let's jump over to there. What I have right now is set up as this file where I've got this bubble that I made and this bubble that I made. Now, to start off, you're going to want to create these, and you're going to want to create a document. It could be 1080 by 1080, and then you can bring them in to After Effects like this, and then just duplicate these as you want to. What I'm going to do is just increase the size of this area, the height, and then I'm going to create a new composition and show you how to make that effect where these are all moving up. To do that, I'm going to hit Command K, and I'm going to make the height, make it like 2500 just because. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it with Command D. I'm going to move it up. So we're going to have these come in, and then I'm going to make another duplicate, Command D. I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to duplicate this guy, Command D, drag him down here, zoom out with Command minus, Command A to select them all, and there we go. Now, obviously, when you're putting a video into Instagram, it's this square, it's 1080 by 1080, but the thing is that when this thing's animating, it's going outside of the box and up, and that's why we have to make this bigger, and you'll start to understand later. But for now, grab Y, which is right here. It's the pan behind tool, pan behind anchor point, and we're going to take this little anchor point. We're going to move it down on all of these and do the same thing here. Just do it down to where the speech bubble point is, where it would come out of someone's mouth. And there we go. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on these three. Now this is gonna come in, then here, then this and this. So we want that to kind of match down here. So we want to make this one, hit return, make it 1, and then just drag it below. Next one, hit 2. You can also hit Command up to go to the next one, hit return. I don't want that one. I want to go up again. 3, and then if I hit Command left bracket, it'll put below there, and then go up again, Command up, and then hit return in 5, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start with these three. So hold down Shift and click on these, and it's going to keep them all selected. I'm going to zoom in by hitting the plus sign on my keyboard. We're going to add a position, a rotation, and a scale. The way to do that is you add a hold down Option and click P, keep holding on Option, hit R, and hit Option, and keep holding Option, hit S. Now we're going to zoom in a little bit more, and we're going to go out to the point because we want it to be maybe a second, maybe. Let me zoom out. And not a second, but maybe like that's it. So at this point is where we want these to look exactly like they are right now. So then that's where you go out to the endpoint, and then you add their whatever the position, rotation, and scale there, and go backwards. Again, I gotta deselect this and do Option S, Option P, Option R. And you're gonna see why it's great. This is perfect to work backwards because you have more control, and you'll see why in a second. So here we're moving backwards. We have all of them selected, so we get to mess with all of their stuff at one time. So position we're not going to touch, but the scale we're going to increase it, and the rotation we're going to just move it where it's going to just bounce up a little bit. We're going to go take the scrubber back here to the beginning, and we're going to make this, we're going to drag them here. You'll see why, because when you see this effect, it's coming off the screen and off the screen, and it's rotating and it's scaling. There's a little bit of bounce, and that's what we wanted to do with this. So if we go back to here, we're going to the position we moved it off, we're going to rotate it down a little bit, and then we're going to bring the scale to 0. Now, if we bring the header to here, hit N, and I'm on CS6, so I hit Option 0 to make the effect. And that's like a bit too That's slightly too slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag over these points. If you hit the tilde, I believe it's called, in the top left by the 1, it'll expand the panel you're in. And what I want to do is select all these diamonds, these keyframes, hold down Option and select the last one and drag it, and it'll close that in a little bit. So hit tilde again, Control 0. If you're on CS, if you're on Creative Cloud, I think it's just spacebar. But that's just too buggy on my computer. So perfect, that's exactly the speed I want it to do. So great, we'll start there. And then do these guys, so select both of them. Let's give them a different color just so we can easily see them. There we go. So Option S, Option R, Option P, go out, Option S, Option R, Option P, and I'm hitting K to go right and J to go left. So hit K to go right, Option S, Option R, Option P. That's where I want it to end. Go back and rotate it up a little bit, scale it up a tiny bit, and go back to the beginning, rotate it down, drag it a little bit off here, and hit 0. There we go. So now we can watch as all of them are going to just pop in. So perfect. So now how we space this out is really easy. This is all done by, this is all time. This is just time. So wherever these exist, wherever the beginning of this exists is where it begins. This is where it exists in time. So you can see that when I bring it back, it exists here. Hopefully that makes sense. But if I drag it out, that means that it doesn't exist yet. And once I drag the scrubber here, then that's where it's going to exist. So you can utilize that to have all these come in one at a time. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with, let's see, where's this one at? I'm holding down spacebar to move this down. So I'm going to drag this one, I'm going to scroll up, I'm going to just drag these off because I just don't want to see them yet. And that's why I have a lot of space in my comps. I'm going to go and drag this down, hit Option 0. Let's see, so this one comes in, and it's repeating because it's in the work area here. So wherever the work area is, this scrubber is going to just stay within that, and once it gets here, it just automatically jumps to the beginning in the loops. Just a little fun fact for you that you should know when using After Effects. So let's say that around this time is where I want the other one to show up, because if we're looking at this, boom, boom. So in this one, it'd be boom, and let's get 2. So hit the left bracket to bring it back, and let's see here. Be like pop, pop, perfect. And then the next one would come in, and let's see, let's bring that one over left. Let's see how this looks. This is what animation is. It is just finessing. So boom, boom, scroll up, boom, and then that would stay up for a little bit, probably because there's a lot more information in it. Hit this guy, and if I hit left bracket, the reason it's jumping here is because it'll always jump back to where the time indicator is. And I think the other one might be spaced well. So let's see this. Bumps in, pops in. Crap, I need to show this whole thing. Let me zoom out. Pops in, then that one. Perfect. That's what I wanted to do. Now, have that effect where it's going to scroll up in the screen is we're going to take this composition and we're going to drag it onto a new one, and then we're going to hit Command K, and we're going to make this 1080 by 1080. So now, if I just drag this all the way right, you can see that we can make that effect where we just move this composition up and it'll start working the way that that Doritos one works. So the way to do that is to start where this guy comes in, which would be here, and then we can just start in the beginning. So he'd pop up, and then the other one would pop up. Now we'll have to move the position up based on when the other one comes in. So if I double click on this comp, it'll put the time indicator exactly where so it's kind of like it's layered basically, where this is the main one that houses this guy right here, and if I double click on it, that's where it exists in time. So hopefully that makes sense. It's when you start playing with this, it starts to make sense, because what would stink is if I was gonna double click in here and the scrub was all the way at the beginning and I made some changes here, it's not gonna work the same way as in the top. So After Effects automatically just knows that this is where you want to be matching with the comp that it's underneath it. So I double click here, and if this is the point where this is going to come in, then that's the point that I want this to move. So, and then be exactly where that one is. So I go to here and hit Option P, And if I go, let's see, if I go back down to here, let's say about here, and go back up and hit P, and I scroll this up. So let's see how that looks. There we go. So here it's going to stay in the position because this is not telling it where to move. So wherever this keyframe is, that's saying like this is where this in time this is going to be. And if it's going to move up, that's saying like, okay, well, I need to get it there. So going right, I need to move it there. But then afterwards, there's nothing on here saying where the position should be. So it's like, keep me there. But if it's there, I'm going to miss all those other ones. So that's why I need to double click in here and say, well, where's the next one coming in? All right, well, he's going to come in here. So if I put it to there, if I go back up, I do another Option P keyframe, I go back, I go to there, go here, and I move it up, and I say, okay, well, that's where this one comes in. So if I do that, now I can test it. So that one's in, that one's in. So it's now it's going to repeat because my work area is stopped here. And you just keep doing that. So let's see. So that, where's this at? That's there. Go here. Go back up. Do. No, that's not where I want to be. Double click. Let's go to this one. So scrub over. Go back up. Option P. Go back down. Zoom in. Get to here. Go back up. Option P is because that's where this one comes in. And then zoom out. Oh, go back down there. Go to this guy. Go back up because you can see now that it's moving the time indicator to match that. So if I go here, hit Option P, go back there, zoom in, go over, go back over, zoom in, Option P, and move this one up. And that's where it's going to be. So zoom out. Give it to about here, hit N, Control 0, and let's see. Pops in, that one comes in, that one comes in, and then that one comes in. There you go. And that creates that effect that Doritos is doing here. You also want to add a white background probably depending on the design. So I hit Command Y, make sure it matches my comp, make sure it's white, and then just drag it below or hit Command left bracket and it'll put it below. And then there you go. So basically what you want to do is have all this designed out first in Illustrator and show like the end result of what it's going to be. And then when you bring it into After Effects, you're going to then just do exactly the steps that I did. You want to work backwards. You want to work just so think of the end goal and work backwards to where it's going to be. And then there's just these little nuances that After Effects has that you kind of have to learn where if you're in the top comp and you double click on it to go to the bottom one to move it around. Now let's say that I wanted to have this guy come in a little bit later. If I drag him over here and I zoom in, and I put the keyframe here and go back up, all I need to do is just select these two keyframes and just drag them over to here. And that means that it'll match. So let's see, comes in, and then that one comes in, and then it waits, and then it comes in. So there you go. So you have to just get really used to timing. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, you can just email me, mike@drive80.com, which would be here. Let me add the color to this, red. Yeah, because that doesn't really make any sense. That would be red. But yeah, you can email me, mike@drive80.com. You can post any comments in wherever this video is posted. Or if you want me to do this for you and you're like, I don't feel like learning this, then you can just hire me to do it for you. So my rates are at this point, actually, I'm not gonna put the rates in because this video could be old and I could be charging like $1,000 for an hour, which, God, that'd be amazing. But that's it. So hopefully